All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth in sincerity, bahasham, rawchaa, qadash. All right. The title of this lesson is going to be "The Fashion of This World Passeth Away," because, when you're in this truth, you realize that, you're not of the world. And although we use the world, we don't abuse it, but, you being around people that are worldly and don't have this knowledge, they supposed to be having an advantage over you. So I've been noticing, through the spirit, how, people think they got it in this life, but really they don't have nothing, because, this world is quickly going to disappear. All right. And the new world will be on earth, and it'll be with righteousness, so just want to get into some scriptures. Lord will it be edifying. I'm going to get the book of 1 Corinthians 7:31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it. Right. Because we use the world, we use, we go to the movies, we go to the stores, we buy, shoes, and, we buy the latest and greatest, but it says as not abusing it. Right. So we don't misuse or overuse or do anything in excess. It says, for the fashion of this world passeth away. Let's go into that word fashion. The fashion of this world passeth away. And it's true, man. Every generation has its singer, has its style of clothes, has its hairdo, has its car that everyone's driving, has the music. Every generation since before I was on the earth, before this generation. All right, let's look up that word fashion. And a new generation comes, and everything's different, and everything is old. So even life itself teaches us that the things they get. There's things get old,
Strong's G 4976. Schema.
It says, as compromising everything in a person which strikes the senses. Right. Everything that strikes your senses, man. That's the fashion of this world, whether it be eyes, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you touch, okay, what you perceive with the mind, all these things, man, they pass away, man. It says, which strikes the sense, the figure, right? Because, nowadays, you got to be the perfect body type, okay, to get some type of, to be beautiful, all right? Whether you be a male or a female, all right, bearing, all right, your importance in life, your relevance, in any situation, whether it be at work or whether it be, in society, your neighborhood, you know what I mean? And we spend a lot of time at work. So, there's a lot of bearing, with people who are popular at work. They got a lot of bearing, they got a lot of importance, they got a lot of relevancy, you know what I mean, as opposed to someone who's in the truth. All right. We spend most of our time at work, and as opposed to being around brothers, you know what I mean, and pushing the work, those brothers that do work the 40 hours, It says discourse, right? Conversations, right? The conversations, the hot topics of the week, the celebrity gossip, gossip with neighbors or family or coworkers. All that stuff, it passes away, man. It doesn't mean anything, who got dissed, or who's doing this or who's doing that, or what vacation people went through, and what people go through, and all these different things, man. All this stuff passes away, man. It says actions. All right. Yeah, what people do. People are busybodies, want to know, what everybody else is doing, and who's doing the most, who's stunting on Instagram, or who's doing the most on Facebook, and who's living it up in the light in the world, manner of life, Yeah, what type of lifestyle you live, what kind of car you drive, what kind of house do you have? You got good credit, you got connections, whether they be positive or business connections, or whether they be involved with the illegal, illicit, uh, underground um, connections in life. You know, all these things, man. All these things they pass away. All these things that people perceive to be popular in the social world, attitudes, beliefs, popular opinions. What's hot, what's not. All these things. Um, they shape the mind and they shape actions that people have. All these things is gonna pass away, man. You know, who's doing the Kiki challenge, or what's the new hottest challenge, and what's the baddest song, and who knows all the lyrics, and who has a comedy account on YouTube and has um, a million views on this and that, or who gets likes. Hey, all these things, man, that you know seem to be important in life. All this stuff passeth away, man. The fashion, of this life passeth away, man. People want to be celebrities in this life, and they chase a dream, an imaginary dream of what life's about. And if they don't reach it, they're never happy. And that's why people are not happy in this life, you know? So, I was just seeing how people, they're always putting themselves as some kind of importance in life. But really, the only thing that's important is if you're following the Heavenly Father, man, in truth and sincerity. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to the bookmarks. It's fashion. It's a, let's see. It's the book of 1 John 2:15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Right. And all those things are of the world, man. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right. Because the Lord is seeking those that worship him in spirit and in truth. Okay. That's what's going to count, whether you're part of the elect, because this world, it passes away, man. The scriptures say that the world is going to pass away with the fervent heat. Let me get that. So how much is, so what is it going to matter how much you make, or how much work you did, or what you wear, This is 2 Peter 3:10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Right. And it's quickly coming. You see all the prophecies coming to pass, the natural disasters. Those are big tokens of that the Lord is coming, to visit the world in which he created. It says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All right. And when you go into the elements, man, if you go into Google, I did a video on this called Science Falsely So-Called. When you go into Google and you Google the periodic table, all right, you Google it, and if you scroll down, you'll see a periodic table that has a periodic chart with elements on it, and all the things that have elements like gold, copper, iron, so on and so forth. But it shows all these materials that household products that we use that have elements in it. It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So everything you see on this earth is made out of elements, man. Elements. There's elements in the dirt. All right. There's elements in water and air, so on and so forth. So, everything in this world is gonna be burnt up. When the Lord comes back. All right. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So everything's going to be burnt up, man. So what does it really matter, what you look like, or the things you have, or your position at work? The people are clouded. Their mind is they're confused, man. They really don't know. And, while you're in this, life, while you're in the world, make sure not to abuse of the world, because what's going to come, what's coming quickly upon the earth. The Lord comes like a thief in the night. So you have to be cognizant of what you're doing, and what you're around, and not get caught up in the cares of this world, and just because you see somebody doing something, so-called doing it tough in this world, doesn't mean that you're behind. You have this truth, be humble. All right. Pray, and be content that the Lord has given you this knowledge. All right. Let's see. I'll run it back. This is 1 John 2:15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, right? The desires of the flesh, the desires of the body. It says, and the lust of the eyes. All right. The desire of what you see, being covetousness, looking at, what you don't have, and what more you can get, and the pride of life, being too confident about earthly things and not spiritual things, is not of the Father, man, but is of the world, right? A lot of people put confidence in what they can do with their power, what they're capable of doing. They don't know that everything is of the will of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. They don't work off the spirit. They just work off, what they've done, or with their power and the things that they have accomplished, and what they know to be, or they mind earthly things, but they don't know that the Lord's, moving everybody and everything. Everybody's in their lot. Whether you have this truth and that the Lord's going to come back and the world's going to disappear, and a new heaven is going to be on earth where righteousness dwells, or you don't. You're blind. You're oblivious to the fact. It says, is not of the Father, but is of the world. It says, and the world passeth away. That's the point, that the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, the desires thereof, what people desire in this life, not saying that we don't desire things, but our things have to be more centered around being more spiritual, being more brotherly, edifying, praying, fasting, the ancient ways, the stones, the incense, the high holy days, keeping of the commandments, getting deeper in the knowledge, history. All right. It says, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. Right? Because the Lord's coming back for his elect, man, and they're going to abide forever. Let's see. This is Revelation 3:17. It says, because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched. Right, man. Yeah, you're suffering, man. You're afflicted. Especially if you're Jake. This goes for Jake, though. Because 2/3 of our people, they don't know the Lord. They don't know that the world passeth away quickly. It says, right, we're cursed, man. The curses of Deuteronomy 28 are real. The struggle is real for our people, man. But they don't know that, man. It says, knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable? Right, man. A lot of people are unhappy, they're depressed, because they don't have certain things, or they don't look a certain way, It says, and poor. Right. We don't have no wealth in this life. We have no power. All right. They're 2/3 of our people, they have no moral standards, man. I mean, we're we got this knowledge, but these people don't know. They're wretched, miserable, poor, blind. They're blind to the facts, man. They don't see what's coming. They don't see what's coming down the road, you know. They don't see across that turn. All they just see is the road ahead, you know. It says, and naked, right? They don't have no covering of the Lord, you know. They go down to Egypt for help. They go down to their enemy for the want of all things. They don't know who they are, you know. You blacks, Latinos, you Native Americans, you don't know that you're the true Israelites and the Lord. You know that the Bible is a history book for you, you know, and the laws, judgments, statutes, the commandments, they're for you to be a wise and a holy, you know, set apart from the world, you know. But no, you want to be part of the world. You want to be, you know, that dude. You want to be that girl. You know what I'm saying? This is let's see. 1 Corinthians 14 and 38. It says, but if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. It's that word ignorant.
Strong's G50. Agnaeo. Agnaeo.
It says not to know, not to understand, right? Right, you don't know, man, you know. 2/3 of our people, they don't understand. It says to err or sin through mistake, right? Our people err and sin, not having this knowledge, not having the moral values that the Lord has put upon us, you know, the commandments that we're supposed to abide by, you know, that make you wise among these other nations who are your enemies, you know. But yet you want to be you want to be the head, but really you're the tail, you know what I'm saying? Mistake to be wrong. Our people, they make mistakes, man, and they're wrong, you know, claiming that they think they're good people and that we ain't nothing. You know, we're set apart, you know, one is set against the other, man. So, you know, just wanted to do this video because I noticed how people, you know, they think that, you know, they're popular and, you know, there's something in this life, but really, you know, our portion is in the next life, Lord willing, you know. And I speak for myself, but, you know, for the Akim, you know, us brothers that are in this faith, man, you know, we believe and we hope that the Lord, he's going to render double unto us, you know. But, you know, this is not our rest, man. So if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. All right. He's blind to the facts, man. Salakia. Run this back. It says, 1 John 2 and 17, and the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. All right. So, Lord willing, this be edifying, you know, and Akim, you know, remember, man, the desires of this life, it passes away, man. But if you do the will of the Heavenly Father, man, the kingdom will be open to you, you know. So we got to continue to strive and know that, yeah, man, you know, we'll take losses in this life, but, you know, they're not really losses, just for us to build us up, you know, for what's coming, you know. It's to learn through mistakes, man, you know, because we're not going to get it, you know, in this life. It's not for us. It's not meant for us to get the riches and fame and glory in this life. All right. So Lord willing, this be edifying. And I want to say shalom.